Hi all, I'm back. I've given the whole section a coat of AK Interactive's Worn Effects. I'm just going to give one more coat, and this will be the third coat I've given it. I just want to make it easier for the paint to come off the top. So just get everywhere where you think there's going to be rust or scratch marks, that sort of thing. Okay, sorry again for going out of focus, guys. I do apologise. I will get used to this videoing. Okay, so there you go. So that's done. I'll let that dry. And while that is drying, so I've got a little helper here. Hunter, can you go and get me a wet one, please, mate? Just one, please, buddy. I've got my son in here. He likes watching. Okay, so while that's drying, I'll start the base. So, container. Sorry, just adjust it. So, container. Shelly Spack Filler Rapid. You don't need to use a lot for the size of the base. There's 1, 2 scoops. Just throw that in. Then just some PVA glue. Okay, can be the good stuff or the cheap stuff like this is, it doesn't really matter. And just a tablespoon will do. Once you've done that, now I will use tan earth in the mix of this. The reason I do that is because once you've got it on there, you don't have to worry about an undercoat. It will dry rock hard and the undercoat will look great. Okay, so there we are there. Just give it a quick mix. It'll go really tacky. Don't worry about that. You just want to get that paint mixed in there. There we go. So it's a very, very light cream colour. So I'll add a bit more. Now the paint will break it down as well. Okay. So there we are there. So it's a lot better. Now, what I'll do now is add some sand. Now this is just fine river sand. It's been washed and everything from the hardware store. So as you can see, it's very, very fine. For that amount of spack filler, usually 2 little scoops will be plenty. You don't want to go overboard with the stone. So you mix that in. Now it will start coming a lot like dough. So what you need to do, I use a syringe. Okay. So just add a little bit into the mix. Start mixing it. There we go, that's a lot better. Now you should get almost paste consistency out of it. You need to mix it in a bit. Okay, there it is there. Okay. So don't worry about the stringy bits. That's just the PVA glue drying because of the spack filler starting to dry quick. So I've got it rapid dry. Alright, it won't matter. Just give it a quick stir again. Alright, with a paintbrush. Now just use an old daggy paintbrush. Okay, so you've got the base, just grab some like so and just start dabbing it on. Now don't worry about if it looks like a mess so far. Okay, it doesn't look much like anything, so again, don't worry about it. Now the rapid dry, sorry, I'll rephrase that, the Shelley's backfiller rapid dry, it does dry very quick, so you might need to add a bit of water, extra water into it, depending. With the edges, just level it off with your finger. Get up the top there. Now this stuff will dry very, very hard, and that's what I like about it. It won't chip and crack like Plaster Paris like I used to use. I use backfiller now for all my dioramas now, for the scenery, for the land scenery bases of it. It's the best to use. Okay, still a little bit to go. It doesn't matter if you've got lumps and clumps in the soil or the land base itself. Natural ground's going to do that anyway, depending where you are. I'm deciding on a little forest section here for this. Alright, so that's done, so you scrape it off. Now with the paintbrush, just give it a wash. So there it is so far. Now you already got natural contours already on the ground, and it is a bit wet as you can see, but that will dry rock hard. Now with the paintbrush, just go along the edges, go upwards. And just even it out at the back. Don't worry about that brown parts there, they'll get sanded off. Okay, now with the rock section, oh, missed a bit. Again, you can use your finger or the paintbrush, it doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you guys. So, yep. So if you're not too sure how you want to have it, here's a real bit of sandstone that I use for impressioning onto my foam when I'm building bricks and that. Now have a look at it. So you're going to have indentations and different levels to the rock. Alright, so most rocks are, forest areas are sandstone or something to that degree. Alright, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So if you still want it to look like a lot of rock, grab a sponge. Now I've got a sponge here that's all ripped up, so just damp it very lightly, just go over it and it'll give you that sand stone effect. And you can go along the base as well if you want. It doesn't really matter because that's going to be covered in soil and foliage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's quite up to you. So there's the rock base so far. Okay, so as you can see, it gives a really good